supplied goods to Andhra Pradesh. So here the goods are transferring from Karnataka to Andhra Pradesh. So what tax is applicable? Yes, it is IGST. The total sales happened for a particular duration is called total turnover. So you are supposed to find out what is the total sales happened and what is the GST payable. Goods sold at nil rate. So here goods sold, that means sales, we are considering it in turnover column, and in amount, that is GST payable, it is nil because zero rate of GST. Hello everyone, I am Arun Kumar, lecturer in Department of Commerce and Management, Vidhyaashram First Grade College, the Temple of Excellence, Mysuru. Dear students, welcome to this new session on Chapter 1, Session 3, that is the topic Introduction to GST. Dear students, in the last two sessions we discussed about what is GST, what are the types of GST we have, and what are the different rates we have under GST. And also we discussed advantages of GST, features of GST and all. So this particular session, dear students, we will be solving few problems based on GST. Yes, obviously in the last session also we solved a few problems. So in this session we will be continuing in solving the problems with respect to computation of GST with respect to different types of transactions. So different types of transactions is nothing but sometimes we will be selling the goods from one state to another state. Sometimes we will be selling the goods from one place to another place, that is within the state. And we will be selling the goods from one country to another country. Sometimes we will be sending the goods to an unregistered dealer, or we will be purchasing from unregistered dealer. So the transactions will be happening with different scenarios. So how we will treat with respect to different scenarios and what type of GST is applicable on what type of transaction. So that we are going to study in this particular session, dear students. So problem number 7, from the following information, mention the type of GST applicable. Yes, here it is very simple. In main exam, you might ask this question for 10 marks, mainly for 10 marks. You have to mention what type of GST is applicable. That's it. Okay. Whether CGST, SGST is applicable or IGST is applicable. That's it. You need not to compute any values. Okay. Just you have to mention what type of GST is applicable. So from the following information, mention the type of GST applicable. So first point, we look into the first point, goods supplied to Bangalore. So here the goods are supplied to Bangalore and place of supplier is not mentioned. If the place of supplier is not mentioned, you have to assume that the transaction is happening within the state and he is also in Karnataka. The supplier is also in Karnataka. So goods supplied to Bangalore. So now the supplier is in Karnataka and supplied to Bangalore only. So both the parties in the same state. Which type of tax is applicable in GST? Which type of tax is applicable? Yes, it is CGST and SGST is applicable. So what tax is applicable? CGST and SGST is applicable on goods supplied to Bangalore. Second point, dear students. So goods supplied to Kerala. So here now the supplier is in Karnataka. Okay, supplier is in Karnataka and supplied goods to Kerala. He is supplying the goods to Kerala. So what type of tax is applicable? Yes, IGST is applicable. So what tax is applicable here for this transaction? IGST is applicable for the second transaction. Next one, third transaction, goods imported from USA. Yes, goods imported from USA. So if you are importing the goods from any other country, on that GST is applicable. So what GST is applicable? It is IGST. Which GST is applicable? IGST is applicable. If you are importing the goods, yes, transaction between two countries. So IGST is applicable. Next one, transferred goods from one branch to another branch. Transferred goods from one branch to another branch. So here transaction is happening between the branches, not between the two different parties, right? Transaction is not happening between two parties. It is happening between two branches of the same company, of the same business. So sales is not happening. Only we will be applying or levying or imposing GST if the supply is made. But here the supply is not happening. Just he is transferring the goods from one branch to another branch. So what tax is applicable? Actually, no tax is applicable. For point number 4, that is for transfer of goods from one branch to another branch, there is no tax. Next one, goods sent to a job worker and the goods returned. Yes, what is this job worker is called? So goods sent to job worker. Job worker is nothing but the person who modifies the goods and he send it back to the actual owner of the product or the goods. So here I send the goods to the job worker, he modified the goods and he had given it back to me itself. So here it is not a sale. So if it is not a sale, there is no tax. So on this transaction also, no tax. There is no tax on this transaction. Next one, goods supplied to job work and he sold the goods to the recipient. So goods supplied to job worker and he sold the goods. Who? Job worker sold the goods to recipient. So here we send the goods but he sold it to the recipient, that means to the buyer. So here the sales is happening. So what tax is applicable? Here the place of the recipient is not mentioned. Place of the recipient is not mentioned. You have to assume that the transaction is happening within the state. So what tax is applicable? Yes, it is CGST plus SGST is applicable. What tax is applicable? CGST and SGST is applicable. Next one, goods exported to Japan. Goods exported to Japan. So here the transaction is happening between two countries. Obviously, IGST was supposed to be applicable, but any exports is exempted from tax. Right? Exports are exempted from tax. So here also no tax. NT. That means no tax. Okay. Next one, supplied goods to Andhra Pradesh. Yes. Supplied goods to Andhra Pradesh. So here the goods are transferring from Karnataka to Andhra Pradesh. So what tax is applicable? Yes, it is IGST. So which tax is applicable? IGST is applicable. Next one, goods supplied to dealer in Tumkur. Goods supplied to dealer in Tumkur. So what tax is applicable on this transaction? Yes, it is CGST and SGST is applicable. CGST and SGST is applicable because the transaction is happening within the state. Next, received goods from a dealer of Tamil Nadu. Yes, you are receiving, you are not selling. So on this, there is no tax. So if you are receiving from unregistered dealer, then you are supposed to pay IGST. Okay, but you have to assume that you are receiving from a registered dealer because nothing is mentioned about the seller. Next, purchased goods from a dealer in Karnataka. Again, purchase of goods. So on this also, the dealer is in Karnataka, CGST, SGST is applicable. But you are the seller and fine. Even though you have to explain about it. For the first one, the goods received from Tamil Nadu, on that IGST is applicable, right? And the goods received from Karnataka, that is CGST and SGST is applicable, right? The next one, goods received from unregistered person of Goa. Yes, goods registered from unregistered person of Goa. So what tax is applicable? Goa, IGST, because the transaction is happening between two states. The transaction is happening between two states. So IGST is applicable. Here, received and purchase. On this, we are not supposed to pay the tax as a seller. Okay. But just for your information, I mentioned you what type of tax is applicable on those transactions. So this kind of question might be asked, or they might give in the main exam for 10 marks. So concentrate on this. It's very easy and very easy to solve. Just you have to know what type of tax is applicable on a particular transaction. So yes, dear students. So moving to the next problem. Problem number 8. Mr. Vishnu, a registered dealer in Mysore, provides the following information for the month of Jan 2022. So what are the informations he provided? Yes. Supply of goods to a dealer in Delhi. Yes. Supply of goods to a dealer in Delhi, 4 lakhs, 12% GST. Next, goods sold at nil rate to a dealer in Hubli, rupees 3 lakhs. Goods sold worth rupees 3 lakh, rate of GST is nil, that is 0%. Next, product X sold to a dealer in Chennai, rupees 2 lakhs, GST 12%. Next, goods sold to an unregistered dealer in Mangalore, rupees 5 lakhs, GST 18%. Next, product Y sold to a dealer in Jammu and Kashmir, rupees 2 lakh, GST 18%. Next, job worker supplied goods directly to the customer. To Bihar, rupees 5 lakh, GST 18%. So here job worker, we send the goods to the job worker, he directly supplied, that will also can be considered as supply or sales. Product Z sold to a dealer in Punjab for rupees 6 lakh, GST 12%. Goods transferred to Mangalore branch, rupees 2 lakh, 12% GST. Exempt goods supplied to a dealer in Delhi, rupees 1 lakh. Goods received from job worker, rupees 3 lakhs. So compute the total turnover and GST payable. So we are supposed to compute what is the total turnover and what is the GST payable. So what is this total turnover? Total turnover is nothing but the total sales happened. The total sales happened for a particular duration is called total turnover. So you are supposed to find out what is the total sales happened and what is the GST payable. Sometimes the purchase will also be given. We are not supposed to consider the purchase. Sometimes the transfer of goods from one branch to another branch, that will be given. That should also we are not supposed to consider. Only we are supposed to consider the sales. Then we will get to know what will be the total turnover. So let us solve the problem. So particulars, turnover, CGST, SGST and amount. So here we can consider the amount column. We can consider the amount column as IGST. What we can consider? We can consider it as IGST. So here particulars, turnover, CGST, SGST and IGST. So what is the first point we had in the problem? Supply of goods to a dealer in Delhi. Supply of goods to a dealer in Delhi. Okay. So what is the rate of applicable GST? 12%. Okay. Here the supply is happening from Karnataka to Delhi between two states. Which tax is applicable? IGST is applicable. So value is 4 lakh. It is a sales. We are considering it in turnover column. Okay. So 4 lakh into 12%, you will get 48,000. How much you will get? 48,000. Next, goods sold at nil rate to dealer in Hubli. Goods sold at nil rate. So here goods sold, that means sales, we are considering it in turnover column, and in amount, that is GST payable, it is nil because 0 rate of GST. Next, product X sold to dealer in Chennai, GST at 12%. Yes, we will be considering the value in turnover column rupees 2 lakh because it is a sales. And what is the rate of GST? 12%. The transaction is happening between two states, Karnataka and Chennai. Which tax is applicable? Yes, IGST is applicable, 24,000. Next, goods sold to an unregistered dealer in Mangalore, GST 18%. Okay. Yes, it is also a sales. Goods sold to dealer in Mangalore. The transaction is happening within the state, within Karnataka. So what tax is applicable? CGST and SGST is applicable. So compute 9% CGST, 9% SGST. So 9% CGST and 9% SGST on rupees 5 lakh, you will get 45,000, 45,000, 45 CGST, 45 SGST. Next, product Y sold to a dealer in Jammu and Kashmir. Product Y sold to a dealer in Jammu and Kashmir, rupees 8, GST 18%. GST 18%, rupees 2 lakhs. So what tax is applicable? Yes, IGST is applicable. Compute 18% on 2 lakhs, you will get 36,000 IGST. Next one, job worker supplied goods directly to the customer at Bihar, rupees 2 lakhs, GST is 18%. So here he sold the goods, job worker sold the goods to the customer. So IGST is applicable. Compute 18% on 2 lakh, you will get 45,000. Next one, product Z sold to a dealer in Punjab, GST is 12%. So yes, Punjab. That means IGST is applicable. On 6 lakh, compute 12%, you will get 72,000 IGST. Next, moving further, the next point, goods transferred to Mangalore branch. Goods transferred to Mangalore branch. Here, the transaction is happening within the business. So, no sales is happening. So, we will not be considering the amount and we will not be finding out the tax. Next, exempt goods supplied to a dealer in Delhi. So, it is a sales. We will be considering the amount in turnover column. But if it comes to tax, it is nil because all the exempted supplies are zero rated supplies. That means there will be no tax on those exempted supplies. Next, goods received from job worker. Goods received from job worker. If you are receiving the goods from job worker, that means you are given for modification and you are receiving it back. So, no tax on it. And will not be considering the amount in turnover column. So, the total turnover is 28 lakhs and CGST is 45 and 2 lakh 25,000. So, yes, next moving to the next problem, problem number 9. Mr. Rajesh, a registered dealer in Bangalore, provides the following information for the month of Jan 2022. Supply of goods to a dealer in Mysuru, 2 lakhs 12%. Supply of goods to a dealer in Andhra Pradesh, 4 lakh 50, 18%. Goods sold to a dealer in Chennai, 4 lakh 12%. Goods sold to unregistered dealer in Tamil Nadu, 4 lakhs 18%. Product M sold to dealer in Mysore, 1 lakh 18%. Supplied goods to job worker, 3 lakh 18%. Product Z sold to dealer in Pune, 4 lakh 12%. And goods transferred to Mysuru branch, 2 lakh 12%. Exempt goods supplied to a dealer in Chamrajnagar, rupees 1 lakh. Goods received from job worker, rupees 3 lakhs. Yes. So, this is the information given. By using this, we are supposed to solve the problem. So, supply of goods to a dealer in Mysore. So, what is the value? 2 lakhs. Transaction is happening within the state. So, what tax is applicable? CGST and SGST is applicable. Compute 6% CGST, 6% SGST on 2 lakh. You will get 12,000. Next, goods sold to a dealer in Andhra Pradesh, GST at 18%. To a dealer in Andhra Pradesh, transaction is happening between two states. So, what tax is applicable? Yes, IGST is applicable. Compute IGST of 18% on 4 lakh 50,000. Next, goods sold to a dealer in Chennai, GST at 12%. So, value 4 lakh. What tax is applicable? IGST is applicable because the transaction is happening between two states. 48,000 is the IGST. Goods sold to an unregistered dealer in Tamil Nadu, GST 18%. So, 4 lakh is the value. Compute 18%, you will get 48,000 IGST because transaction between Karnataka and Tamil Nadu. Next, product M sold to a dealer in Mysore. Transaction is happening within the state. So, CGST, SGST is applicable. On 1 lakh, 18%. So, 9% CGST, 9% SGST. Supplied goods to a job worker, GST at 18%. So, I am supplying goods to the job worker, that's it. Okay, I am not selling the goods. So, no tax on it. Next, product Z sold to a dealer in Pune, GST at 12%. So, IGST is applicable. So, moving on to the next point. Goods transferred to Mysuru branch, GST at 12%. So, it will not come under turnover also and no tax because the transaction is happening within the business. Exempted goods supplied to a dealer in Chamrajnagar. So, value is 1 lakh and tax is nil because it is exempted from tax. Goods received from job worker. So, we will not be considering it in turnover as well as not computing the tax because goods received from whom? The goods received from the job worker. That means we are given the goods to the job worker, we modify the goods and return it back to the customer. So, there will be no supply is happening, there will be no sales is happening. So, this is how we are supposed to solve. So, next problem, problem number 10. From the following information of transactions of Mr. Ranganath from Karnataka, compute CGST, SGST and IGST. Assume that the rate of GST is 18%. Okay, so to assume that the rate of GST applicable on all the transactions is 18% and the dealer is in Karnataka. So point number 1, goods sold to dealer in Andhra Pradesh, yes, tax is applicable. Next, goods supplied within the state, yes, tax is applicable. Next point, supplied goods to a dealer in Goa, yes, tax is applicable. Goods supplied to dealer in Tumkur, yes, tax is applicable. Goods received from job worker, so no tax here. Goods purchased, yes, no tax because only on sales we are applying. Next, supplied goods to sales unit, yes, no tax on it because we are supplying to special economic zone. Goods sold to a dealer in Bangalore, yes, tax is applicable. Next, goods purchased from export oriented unit, so no tax is applicable because it's a purchase. Goods transferred from Mysuru branch to Mangalore branch, so no tax is applicable. So on few transactions GST is applicable, on few transactions it is not applicable. So let us solve the problem. Goods sold to dealer in Andhra Pradesh, what is the value? 9 lakh. What is the rate of GST for all the transactions? 18%. So what tax is applicable? Yes, IGST is applicable. You will get 1,62,000. Goods supplied within the state, value 2 lakhs. Okay. And what is the rate of GST? 18%. So here CGST and SGST is applicable. 9% CGST, 9% SGST on 2 lakhs. Next, supplied goods to a dealer in Goa. Okay. Rupees 1 lakh. So GST 18%. Which GST is applicable? IGST is applicable. Between transactions happening between Karnataka and Goa. Here the value. Next, goods supplied to dealer in Tumkur. Goods supplied to dealer in Tumkur, rupees 4 lakhs. So what GST is applicable? CGST and SGST is applicable. Received goods from job worker. So no tax is applicable. Next, goods purchased. Yes, we are not computing tax because it's purchase, not sales. Supplied goods to sales unit. Yes, the value is 5 lakh, but the tax is nil because supply of any goods to sales unit, it is exempted from tax. Goods sold to dealer in Bangalore, rupees 2 lakh, 18% GST, that means 18,000, 18,000, 9%, 9%. Goods purchased from export oriented, so purchase, we will not be imposing tax. Goods transferred from branch in Mysuru to Mangalore, so transfer is happening, no sales is happening, so no tax on it. So this is how you are supposed to solve the problem. In this particular session, we discussed about what tax is applicable on what kind of transaction, right? So just you have to know one thing, that is what tax is applicable on what transactions. And while you are computing the turnover and the GST, the particular transaction should be a sales, that should be a supply. That means the supplier or the seller should be supplying the goods to the recipient or to the buyer. So on that time only we will be considering that value for turnover as well as for computing the GST. If it is a purchase, if it is a transfer, if it is a transfer to job worker, we will not be considering it. That should be a sales. Okay. So with this, I am going to wind up this session. I will meet you in the upcoming sessions. Until then, thank you all. Have a nice day. Namaste.